Hello and welcome back to the sew along. Hopefully you have all your blocks complete now and it's just time to sew the quilt top together. With your block 3 diamond block, one point will have a shorter distance to the edge than the other. Make sure to arrange your blocks so that point with the shortest distance to the edge is facing inwards to the middle row, and make sure to do that for all your diamond blocks. The first thing we're going to do is arrange our blocks into 3 rows. So this is the first row where you'll have a block 3, a block 2 and then another block 3. You want to sew those together and press the seams. Then for row 2 you have a block 2, block 1 and then another block 2. And for row 3 you have a block 3, block 2 and a block 3. When you've sewn all those rows together, give them a press and then join them all together to create your quilt centre. You then need to add the side borders. For the side borders you will need your colour 1 colour. You need to cut them into strips of 2.5 inches wide and 27.5 inches long, and you need 4 of those. You then need to join 2 of those strips together to create a border that is the total length of 2.5 inch by 54.5 inch. You then press that seam that you'll have in the middle of those borders and attach them to the left and right of your quilt centre. Then for the top and bottom borders, you need to cut strips that are 2.5 inches wide by 29.5 inches wide, and you need 4 of those. And again, you'll need to join 2 of them together to create 2 strips that are 2.5 by 58.5 inches long. Press the seams that are in the middle and then join them to the top and the bottom of your quilt centre. You have now completed your quilt top, and there's no need to take out any of the Vlieseline products we've used so far. They can stay in there. You then need to layer that up on top of a layer of batting. I am using the Vlieseline 276 natural cotton white batting, and you can quilt up to 10 to 20 centimetres apart with that. For the batting you will need at least 66 inch square, and for the backing you will need 3 3/4 inch yards or 3.5 metres. You then need to cut that in half along the full drop and then bring them next to each other and sew the selvages together so that you get a piece of fabric that is wide and long enough for your quilt. When you are finished with your quilting, trim away the excess batting and backing, and then you can attach your binding. For the binding you will need half a yard or half a metre, and then you need to cut that into 2.5 inch wide width of fabric strips. So that's strips that go along the full width of the fabric that are 2.5 inches wide, and you will need 6 of those. You need to join those together and then that will create a binding that is long enough for the full quilt. Attach that all the way around and your quilt is finished.